guys, this is Siren Productions, aka in the 4673, and I'm back in A Troll's Fairy Tale Part 12. Yeah. And sadly, I haven't forgotten what happened last time. I got friend-zoned. It hurts every time, doesn't it? Damn you! But just a little thing. I'm sure I did it right. I'm sure, okay? I did it right. I'm pretty sure. I checked it on the walkthrough and everything. And I got it right, so... Friend sound? I'll just continue, okay? I thought we were just friends. Fuck you. I fell silent as that single word resonated with me. I shook my head at him. Shoving his hands in his pocket, he looked down at me with an indescribable look in his eyes again. Why can't we just be friends? Don't rub it. Don't rub it in it. So, everything you did and said was only out of friendship. He nodded, his head slowly, not taking his eyes off me. It was then I realized that what I wanted from him wasn't any friendship. I'd kept telling myself that I wouldn't fall for a player, but here I stood, and the only thing I could think of was the fact that I wanted something more. I wanted my happily ever after to be with him. The pain of his rejection cut so deeply, and everything he did and said continued to confuse me and take my heart on a stupid goose chase. Then why did you get so upset at Aaron? Because that ugly Cutting my eyes at him, he cleared his throat and changed his tone. Butterskull was still on his face. That troll shouldn't have been touching you so freely like that while you're sick. If we're supposed to be friends, then you really have no business getting mad like that. Friends are allowed to get mad. Not over something like that. Well, a friendship is different. You can't be that freak's friend. You know what? Waving my hand in the air, I began making my way back to my bedroom door. What you said right there and here is really dumb. If you say you don't like me like that, that's fine. Opening the door, I motioned for him to leave. Let's be friends, but I really want you to get out and I need some space right now. He stood there studying my face before he got to stepping. He stopped right beside me. Are you okay then? Just peachy. Then I want to use that promise you owe me. My mouth popped up with shock. The audacy of that. He really knew how to get under my skin. He must really. Gently he placed his hand over my mouth to quiet me. His eyes held mine with so much emotion. Everything he said and did was just like a maze for me. When I finally think I figured it out, bam! I'm standing before in a dead end, and I have to turn around and start from the beginning. Promise me you'll stay for the ball tonight. Cutting my eyes at him, I tried to yell out no, but his hand muffled my response. Promise me. Shaking his hand off my mouth, I tried to push him out of the door, but he grabbed my hand and stood his ground. You owe me a promise, Acacia. Are you really going to go back on your word? You sneaky little... Please, promise me. I'm speechless. Why is he so cutesy now? You're playing, aren't you? This is a role. You're just saying that you're friend-zoning me, right? If not, this is the worst turn a game has ever taken. My eyes squinted together as I'm confused as I saw a pained expression on his face. I said, man, what's going on with you? Shaking his head, he let go of my hand and started walking out of my room. I wish I knew. Just promise you'll stay after you drop off my mother's order. His silver eyes stared pleading into mine. Part of me didn't want to do it, but the other part of me... Fine. I can't. But I'm bringing Aaron. Ha! My words quickly cut him off as he pulled me out of his embrace and held both of my shoulders in his hands. What? Why? Because, stupid, that's the night before the end of the festival, and since he said he was already interested in me, I might as well accept his offer. His face contorted in anger. I can't let him propose to you at my... Shrugging his arms off my shoulders, I took a step back inside my room. I'm a grown woman. I'll do whatever I please. And since that ball is a perfect fairy tale setting for a happy ever after ending, I'm going to go ahead and roll with it. See you at the ball, friend. The last words I said dripped with bitterness as I slammed the door shut in his face. Walking towards my bed, I started rustling through the bags that the man had left over. What in the world? My voice meandered off as I picked the expensive-looking items out of my bag one by one. He bought me a lot more than just medicine. As I laid everything out on the bed and opened a bottle of medicine and took a sip, I let my eyes travel around all the gifts he'd given me. Hearing a tapping sound on my on my door, my attention snapped away from the bed and scrunted up my nose. That better not be you. The door slowly opened and Aaron popped his head in with a sheepish smile on his face. No, it's just me. May I come in? Relaxing the muscles that had tensed up, gearing for another fight, I waved him in while sitting on the bed taking another sip of the medicine. Even though it tasted disgusting, I could really feel its effects as my nose and the pressure in my head started to clear up. Aaron walked up to the side of the bed and laid out a low whistle while his eyes trailed over all the gifts laid. What's all this stuff? Did he propose to you or something? I saw a hint of sadness in his eyes while he tried to make light of the situation. No, apparently this is just all gifts from one friend to another. I spat out the last words bitterly while starting to chuck down more of the medicine out of aggravation. Wait, he said he wanted to be friends? Stop smiling, you twat! Yep, apparently I was overanalyzing things and he only saw me as a friend. The idiot. If he didn't like me from the get-go, then why? I let my words wander off as I felt myself getting emotional. I was never one to let myself cry in front of others because of stupid drama, but for some reason this situation was really getting to me. Can you change the music then? Sad music, please. I could feel Aaron's eyes on me as I stood there quietly. Setting the empty bottle of medicine on the floor, I laid back on the bed and covered my face with my arms. With a sigh, I could feel Aaron sit down next to me. He's just being insensitive, Casey. It's pretty obvious after seeing him get so hostile when he saw me touching you. And on top of that, look at all of this. He did all of this for a reason, even if he isn't ready to admit it to himself just yet. Well, I'm finished with him anyways. No, you're not. I felt strange how quick Aaron was able to see through my bluff. My mind reasoned the thought of, I can't talk, the thought of how things might have turned out if I had fallen for him instead. With a heavy sigh, I sat up and turned my head towards him. Well, I'm not about to chase after him and force him to realize that. You're right, that's actually a more effective way to fix the situation, which is... Ignore him. Go ahead and stay at the ball, but leave him alone. I've seen how you've always given him your attention whenever he came around. I did not. I ignored him plenty of times, but he'd do something stupid that would piss me off, so... Pointing his finger in my face, he shook his head. See right there? He's always been able to get your attention or a reaction out of you, whether good or bad. So what you need to do is make him think that he's finally lost that effect on you. You need to make him feel that he's lost you. That will make him come to you and give your attention instead. Is this guy trying to help me? Or is he trying to do this for his own benefit? I don't know. And if it doesn't work, then he wasn't worth your time to begin with, and didn't care enough about you to be affected by a sudden change of mood. Closing my eyes, I laid back on the bed, trying to turn the whole situation over in my head. I suppose this could work. I'm getting tired of this game of tag, and besides, it's not like it's the end of the world if I have to have to wait another year until to finally have my own happily ever after. Who says you still can't have? Who says you can't still have one? My eyes shut open when I felt his hand grab hold of mine. Turning to look at him, turning to look over at him, I saw a sinuous look in his eyes. Even though our beginning isn't really have that fairy tale feel to it. He paused as he was trying to pick his words carefully. That doesn't mean our ending can't. That is, if you would accept me instead of him. This isn't right. Scooting up, I pulled his hand away. Felt my heart tighten with guilt as I thought I was only using him to make them jealous. I'm not going to use you. Even though I don't know a lot about you, you seem really nice, and you deserve but it's fine, Acacia. If it's for you, I don't mind. Why would you go that far for me? Why would you let yourself get used? Shrugging his shoulders, he gave me a playful smile. That's not a playful smile. It's not totally only for you. I have a few reasons on my own for doing this, which is, one, I wanted to see the look on his face when he sees us together at the ball. Real mature. And two, I couldn't just sit by and watch you leave without throwing my hat into the ring. I sat quietly studying his face. His words were sinuous, and there was a look of determination that had appeared on his face. Well, I don't plan on using you. I'm going to drop off the food and hide somewhere until the ball ends, since I still have that stupid promise to keep. That's fine, you actually don't have to do anything. I'll find you and do it all on my own, then if he doesn't still realize the mistake he's making by letting you go? Leaning forward, I saw his eyes studying my face as he reached his hand forward and brushed his thumb gently across my cheek. Maybe then I can steal your heart away from myself. My eyes darted away nervously. Never got such a direct confession like that before. You hardly even know me. It doesn't take the heart long to know what it wants when it sees it. That's true. If you pick me, then we'll have the rest of our lives to learn more about each other. I know you're still going to hide. I know you're still going to hide from me at the ball, but I'll still find you. After that, he left the room, closing the door softly behind him. Even though his offer was tempting, I didn't just have the heart to do that to someone. I'll figure this out on my own. Why did you bake so many? Could your belly ache and keep moving? I need to find a good spot to hide so I can think. Allegra had offered me to help me carry the 12 dozen pastries the Queen had commissioned for me to bake. But from the moment when we left the shop until we have arrived at the castle, she just whined and complained about how heavy they were. My arms hurt. I turned around to look at her face her, and used my free hand to snatch away the 3 baskets she was carrying. If you want something done right, you had better just do it yourself. Go home if you're going to whine, Allegra. What? Why? I bit my lip and narrowed my eyes at her. All the irritation and frustration from earlier was starting to boil over. All you're doing is whining, and I don't want to hear it. But I want to stay. Then shut up. Some of the guests had started to throw in cautious glances our way. Sheesh. It was like they'd never heard anyone yell before. What are you staring at? Glaring at them, I scrunted my nose and started making my way towards the table. A large crowd of chattering girls stood in the way of the table. After a few failed attempts trying to be polite, get their attention so they would move, I decided to try a more effective method. There were a few insulted yelps and screams as I used my hips to push my way through. Which way are you going, you ugly toad? Shut up, you dirty old heifer. What? We're not cows! You could have fooled me. Step aside, heifer. I don't know. I have to end the episode here. Let's see each other in the next one. Bye!